everyone, this is Xanthi and welcome to my channel In Two Pieces. Now a little while ago I did a video about New Year's sort of puzzling resolutions, and I'll pop a link up to that video. But basically I was going to be on leave from work more or less from Christmas to most of January, and I didn't have any sort of trips planned or anything like that. So I figured I would spend my time trying to get through as many jigsaw puzzles as I could, and because as you can see there's some of them behind me, I have quite a few. So yeah, it was getting a little bit out of control and I was trying very hard to do more than I bought. So in the challenge, I challenged myself then for all of January to see how many I could do, and I did ask you, the viewer, to guess how many puzzles I would do. So let's get on to those guesses first, those predictions, and then I'll get down to the stats. Now we have Harvey's Puzzle Odyssey, and he guessed that I would do 20 puzzles. Now the piece count could be anything. I wasn't going to put any sort of restriction on that. So I'm pleased to say that yes, I did do at least 20 puzzles, so tick that one. And then Olguita 5207, and I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly. They predicted that I would get 25 puzzles done. Well, I did manage that, so tick that one. And then there was Cavallini 108, predicted that I will get 30 puzzles done. Well, I managed that, just. So tick that one as well. Then there was Gail Milne 1549, who predicted that I will get 20,000 pieces done. Unfortunately, I didn't manage that. I got close, but I didn't quite get there. Then the last prediction was from Clark Kent 7973, who predicted that I would get 30,000 pieces done. Unfortunately, I was nowhere near that. Oh well. But yes, so I completed 30 puzzles during my January challenge, and I did do my last puzzle on the very last day of January, so I only just scraped in with that 30. The number of pieces that I did was 19,050, so it was very close to that 20,000 that Gail had predicted, so that wasn't too bad. Now I tried to change up what I did. I didn't want them all to be from the same brands. I didn't want them all to be the same sort of styles. I didn't want them all to be, you know, landscape orientated. I didn't want them all to be, you know, samey, basically. So all up, I did 21 different brands, which I thought was pretty good out of 30 puzzles. There were a few brands that sort of featured more than others, and that was Gibsons and Clementoni. I didn't really plan that. I basically chose puzzles as, you know, as the mood took me. But every puzzle that I chose was one that I was intending to move on, and I'm happy to say that as of filming this, I have already moved on several of them. Some of them I've sold, some of them I've donated to op shops, some of them I've just given away or put into my local library, their jigsaw puzzle swap station. But I still have quite a few more that I need to move on, which I've done in this lot. So all up, I did do mostly 500s. Again, it was just what the mood took me. Sometimes depending on what other things that was going on, that I didn't really feel like sitting down and working on 1,000 piece. Often I would feel like just doing maybe 2 500s in one day. Really, it was just luck of the draw. So I did 8 1000s. I did 21 500s, and there was one that was a 550, and I have to say 550s aren't that common, at least not in my collection. So yeah, I varied up the images that I did, though you will see there's a bit of a trend in that there's quite a few cat puzzles or animal puzzles in general, but there were a few other sort of what I call oddities, but there was the landscapes, as you probably expect, but there was a few more unusual ones that I did do. But my favorites from the ones that I did, and this is judging from doing the experience of actually doing the puzzle, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Unicorn Garden by eeboo, which was the round one. Normally that image isn't something that, you know, I would make a priority to get. I think I found it secondhand or in a swap. I can't remember now. I'm not really that big into sort of fantasy. I will do some fantasy ones, obviously, but unicorns, you know, I know some people love unicorns, but, you know, I could take them or leave them. But as I was doing this, I just really got into it. I just really enjoyed it. And I think I enjoyed the other animals and all the sort of vegetation around it more than the doing the unicorn in the middle. But it was the actual experience of doing that round one that I enjoyed, rather than, you know, oh, it wasn't a favorite because of, you know, the image itself. Well, the image itself was fine. It was very colorful. The other one, which took me by surprise, was Braes Lake, I think that's how you pronounce it, by Clementoni. Now, the photograph it's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful scene, but it doesn't look that exciting to actually do as a puzzle. And I thought, oh, this is going to be kind of hard, because there's, you know, doing reflections is quite difficult in puzzles. And then you got your sky and the mountains, you know, that water. Anyway, I found that I approached it by really sorting the piece as well, like, you know, the boardwalk, the wooden stuff, you know, the mountains, the sky, the water reflections. Once I had done that, it flowed just beautifully, and it wasn't difficult at all, and I just really, really enjoyed it. Now, it's not a puzzle that I probably would want to see in a speed puzzling race, but just to do it leisurely, I just really loved it. So yeah, that took me by surprise. Now, in regards to my favorite, in regards to artwork, there was a few that obviously that I really enjoyed the artwork, but I think the one that really stood out for me was the Chocolate Lab one, that was by Psychedalic, and just the artwork of that was just beautiful. It's puzzling it. I'm glad it wasn't bigger than what it was, because it wasn't easy, because again, there was a lot of sort of dark bits, and, you know, that greenery and the brown of the dog. So there wasn't a lot of color variation to work with, but for the size that it didn't get frustrating. It was doable. But yeah, the artwork was stunning. I was really impressed by that one. Now, to move on to my least favorites, because, you know, there were a few. I have to say that the Gibsons London map one would be there. Like, highly detailed images, I'm not a huge fan of them. This one was fairly detailed. It was fine, except for the fact that the box was really small, so you didn't have the full image on the box. And I thought, okay, well, there's got to be a poster inside. I did get it secondhand, so there's always the possibility that a poster could not be in there, but it was in there, but it was tiny. It was so small. Now, if this was some kind of landscape image, that wouldn't have been too bad. For something that was that detailed, it really needed a decent sized poster. you know, even if it was just folded up, I don't care. But this poster was small. I was sitting there peering at the poster, peering at the pieces. Also, I have to say that if you are familiar with London, you might have handled the puzzle a little bit better than I did. I've never been. I don't know the layout. I don't know where these landmarks are. So if you've got an idea in your head, oh, you know, here's Buckingham Palace, so I know this other landmark is, you know, northeast of it or whatever, I think that would have helped. But yeah, I was just relying on the tiny poster a lot, and then it did not work for me. The other one that was probably one of my least favorites was Psychedalic Jungle Sunrise by Clementoni. Whew, this one was hard. This was the one where when I started it, I seriously thought, I'm just going to pack this up. But I had bought this new, and I thought, you know, if I got it just for a few dollars or in a swap or whatever, pack it up, move it on. But because I did buy this retail, and I kind of felt that I needed to give it a good go. And I did. I mean, obviously in the image, I started in the center with that yellow sun, and I tried to do as much as the border as I could. That was hard enough. And I sort of moved from the center outwards a lot. And then I was just picking out sort of colors, but it's one of those images that from a distance, it looks okay. Scrolling through a website, oh, that's colorful. I'll get that. It's part of their Color Boom series, which I like. So that's why I got it. But then once I actually looked at it closely, I was like, ooh. And it had sort of like an AI sort of quality about it. I don't know if it was AI, but the closer you looked at it, I don't know, it just didn't look quite right to me. The foliage and everything, I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But yeah, it was so hard, and there was several points where I thought, oh, should I just stop? Should I just stop? But I just kept going, and I got it done. But yeah, it wasn't one that I particularly enjoyed. So yeah, that is pretty much what I managed to do in about a month. I did actually like the challenge. I didn't feel stressed or pressured to get as much done. I actually thought it was quite fun to try and get as many done and then to move them on. And it was good to sort of target the ones that might have been sitting in my collection for quite some time, and just to do them. So yeah, I enjoyed doing the challenge, and I'm actually thinking that it might be something that I might try to do 2 to 3 times a year, where I'll just puzzle as much as I can in 1 month, and to move some of these ones that I do intend to move on, just to get them done and out of the house. So it has created a little bit less clutter on my shelves, and yeah, it's been quite an experience. At the end of this video, I will put in a slideshow of all the puzzles that I've done, and on the description I will add the name, the brand, and the piece count of all the puzzles that I did for this. There is a few puzzles that I did do in January, which I'm not including in this count. Technically, yeah, I did do more than 30, but I'm not going to count them because I did them for the purpose of other videos that are coming up, or I have been released now. And there was a practice 1000 that I did with my team, and then I went to an in-person teams race, and there was a 1000 piece that we did there. So I mean, all up, there was a few more puzzles done in January. So anyway, I hope you will enjoy looking at the slideshow. Please let me know if you've done any of these and what you thought of them. or is this something that you might consider doing? I would highly recommend it if you have time. Obviously, when I decide to do it in another month, most likely, you know, we'll still be working. I won't have time off, so I doubt that I would finish 30 in the month. But yeah, anything's good to sort of get these done and moving. So thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing if you have enjoyed it and you want to see more content from me. And I will catch you later. See ya.